Spoken Labour.
I went to sleep that night without knowing it would be the last night I ever spent in that bed at my parents' house in London. Meredith, my mum shook me awake. The room was dark, making it obvious it wasn't morning yet, or not time to get up for school anyway. "Mum," I mumbled in my half-asleep state, "it's time to go. Everything I told you about those stories is true. It's time for you to leave us so you can train to be a protector. Your dad and I, we've done everything we possibly can to prepare you."
First Charge is the first book in the Destiny Initiative series by Amanda Steele. The book can be purchased in paperback from Amazon. The ebook can also be purchased on Kindle, Kobo, Apple Books, and many others. Spoken Thank you today for tuning in to Spoken Label. Spoken Label was originally set up at the beginning of 2016 and as of recording has over 200 sessions in our archive. Although the podcast can be heard on Anchor, iTunes, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and literally 10 or 11 other networks, the full archive can be found at Spoken Label, and all one word, spokenlabel.bandcamp.com. On Bandcamp, it is set as pay what you want, so you are entitled, if you wish, you can download it or stream it for nothing. But if you want to throw me a couple of pennies my way, it is always eternally grateful to help me maintain the operating costs and future running costs of this podcast. Enjoy. Spoken Label. Hi guys, Andy M, Spoken Label, back in the house. I'm not actually sure where we are today, actually. I know, that's the story for another day. I had to run over on Zoom anyway. I've got a lady with me today, and I met her fairly recently at Speakeasy called Dee, and I'll let her D3, her stage name is, but of course that's not her full name, which I'll tell you that in a minute. But Dee, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell everybody who you are, where you come from, and what starts you off all your creativity. And we'll start from there.
Hi, everybody. My name is Denetta Copeland, but yes, my stage name is D3. The reason being is I come from a line of 4 sisters, and all our names begin with D, and guess which one I am. So I thought about my name for a long time before No, I didn't. I'm from Leeds. I'm a spoken word artist, and I've been writing all my life. But when I kind of left school and stuff, there was really nothing to kind of nurture me. So I kind of just let it go and left it. But then when I was 17, 18, I enrolled into Life Force on Chapeltown Road to do a modern music production course while I was actually pregnant with my 3rd child to learn how to produce music, because I thought, you know what, if I make myself music, because I've been asking people to make me music, but they hadn't manifested. So I thought I'll go make myself some music and I'll make my own. So I went and did that whilst I was pregnant, and I met 2 ladies who asked me to help them with the venture that they had just started up called the Leeds Young Authors, which was writing workshops for 13 to 19-year-olds. It started off. Over the years, we did end up taking in students from as young as 9 because they were knocking on the door and we didn't want to turn them away. And, you know, I was, you know, working with the Leeds Young Authors for about 10 years. We would create workshops in Leeds at Life Force. We would go out to schools and do workshops in schools. And then we would have big slams and create a team to compete in spoken word competitions in America. One called Brave New Voices. I've actually got the top on today.
Oh, brilliant. Now, obviously, people can't see that.
2005.
That's a cracking top, man. Did you actually go?
You can see it. You can see it.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Did you go to America to do the slams? Did you? Or
yes.
Did you not get over?
Yes, we went to America. We took the kids to America every year. I only went 2 years, but we were taking the kids for about nearly 10 years. Different states of America all the time. I went to San Francisco and I went to LA, and this was it was absolutely amazing. It is a spoken word festival. It's called Brave New Voices. It's run by Russell Simmons, and it's the best and the best of all states. So you have to kind of compete to get on the team, and then all the teams come to the same space somewhere in America, and just not battle it out, we cipher it out, because we don't rap battle, do we? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, completely. Oh, wow.
But I mean, even just the conversation, you know, in the halls, going from one place to another, was all done in cipher form. It was just so amazing. So I, you know, grew a lot lyrically over them times, because I was taking kids to go do these workshops that I never had an opportunity to do. So I was in the back of the class and I was to get my pen out and my paper out. I was like, this is really good, this. And I was learning as well as the kids. And then, yeah, the last time I went was 2010. And in other news, I'd started working with a jungle band, and this jungle band, Hayashi, had started getting, you know, quite a lot of gigs, and you know, we was up and down the country a lot, and I couldn't do both of the projects because I'm a mother of 3 children, and so I had to leave the Legion Authors to pursue the band and the workload that they had to offer me. So yeah, Hayashi, look them up. Live Jungle. There's Gideon Woods, Ben Coleman, Francis Andrews, and me, Denetta Copeland, also known as D3, which is a crazy collective, and you know, random kind of people, but we join together, we make a beautiful sound. Because I'm obviously a spoken word artist, and you probably put me more like rap, hip hop, you know. But Francis, she is quite operatic, and this is over live jungle beats.
Brilliant. Now, how did this band get together then? Obviously, like you've hinted at, obviously you got together. It's always with such a diverse collective. Did you all come from completely different backgrounds, and did you really?
Well, yeah, it was crazy. When I got back from America, I started doing a lot of writing myself again, and I put on my Facebook one day, who wants to collaborate?
Oh, wow.
That's how I ended up in the band. Who wants to collaborate? And there was a friend of mine who he actually lives on the same street as me, who was in a band, and he was like, oh, you should come down to see Hayashi. We'd love to have you. And they said, oh, you know, we actually could do with somebody to help us out with this gig. Could you come down? That when I went down, they were like, you've got to stick around. You need to do, we're going to Hull tomorrow. We're going to hear this. And when I first started in the band, they already had certain songs that they had, like, you know, got the format for, but had sections where they wanted me to kind of fill in. But I didn't know where these, because I met the band one day and did a 10-set gig with them in Hull the next day. So I didn't know where my sections of the music were. So I'm just dancing around on stage. And I'm thinking, am I coming in now? Am I coming in now? So what I'm doing is I'm kind of dancing around and turning around in my dancing to look at the drummer going, is it now? Is it now? Not yet. 8. I'm like, okay, because I know I'd come in another 8 bars or something. And that's how we worked for that first gig. And it was like, do you know what? You work really well. We're going to have to stick with this. And I was working with that band for over 10 years.
Wow.
Fantastic.
No, it's brilliant. I think it's a great, sometimes the bands, I've been in a few bands like that, where you just get up there and do it first gig without much preparation. And the chemistry's there, And it clearly was right from that beginning. So that's actually incredible, that one straight away. So, and I've heard you do your poetry at jungle speed, obviously, and normal speed, and it's completely different, isn't it? The tones altogether.
It is, definitely. But I like to play around with different genres, so that's what's fun for me, because obviously spoken word, everything's spoken word. It's how you just choose to deliver it, deciphers what genre it is. And I like to deliver the same thing sometimes different ways, just to show different things that you can do with it.
Yeah. How far did the band tour then? You said that they did. I'd heard the name until you just told me. I had heard of them. Did you go beyond England, or was it just mostly England you toured in?
England, up and down England, and we headlined a festival down in Wiltshire for about 7-8 years, which was a charity festival that raised money for disabled children, but it was to give respite to the families of disabled children, so that we raised money for them. And the festival was like in August, but over Easter, there was a camp for disabled children to go to the camp and ride horses and do things that they weren't able to always do, because obviously people don't always have the facilities. But they got to go away for the week, and their parents got the rest for the week. And we supported that for so many years. That when we'd go down there and we'd do songs, the crowd would sing them back to us.
Oh wow,
That's before we've even started, they'd be like, Hayashi is here and it's clear that we want to get down, which was one of our songs, but the crowd like that.
Oh, fantastic. Now, obviously, I know you've moved on to new projects now, haven't you? So, and yes. I know about the radio station, and I'm not knowing you. You have something else up your sleeve, or I wouldn't know about in a minute. But you've got a program coming out on Chapel FM soon, haven't you? With the lovely Sarah Autumn.
Yeah, I do.
Do you want to tell people about that next?
So that is one of our lockdown inventions. It's called Lockdown. It's one of our lockdown inventions, and it's called Loudspeaker. And it's going to be on Chapel FM. So what happened was Sarah actually called me and she said, a bit bored. I was just wondering, would you be interested in doing a spoken word radio show with me? And I'm like, yeah, actually, I'd love to do a spoken word radio show with you. Obviously, we'd been going through a pandemic. I was working in festivals at the time, got my P45 during lockdown, because obviously festivals are now non-existent at the moment, and was looking for other things to do. I'll tell you about the other thing that I've also been doing in lockdown in a minute. But yeah, so I jumped at the chance to be able to put this together. So we kind of, put the word out, got some information, spoke to some people to see if they would be interested. We booked a studio date and created a podcast, I suppose, a recorded show that we could send to radio stations to see if they were interested. And yes, they were. So I've now been given a slot on Chapel FM. Our day is the second Tuesday of every month at 9 p.m. So our first show will be going out on the 2nd of February.
Brilliant.
First Tuesday in February. So check that out. D3 and Sarah Autumn on Loudspeaker, Chapel FM, 2nd of February, 9 p.m.
Do you want to tell people a bit about the format of the show then? What's going to be in the show then, just so people are interested?
Yep, we have many features of the show, but we wanted to create a show where, well, obviously, spoken word is not played as much on radio as tracks and songs and pop and grime or any of these other. So we wanted to create somewhere where we could have a platform to be heard. But we created different features for the show, so we could have like different topics throughout. So we have different features. One's called Topic of the Week, which is our general subject that we like to talk about with our guests and with our interviewees. Also, we have a spotlight feature where we invite somebody onto the show that has got something interesting going on in the world of entertainment or spoken word, and we give them an opportunity to just tell us about what their story is and what they've got going on, because we want to be able to share what else is going on in the world of spoken word. We're very inclusive. So we also have a live performance. So we always have a guest in the show who will be interviewed, and then they will do a couple of live performances, as well as played pieces of spoken word, or maybe songs, but not the pieces that we play are not overly musical, we'll say that.
No, I'm definitely going to tune into it. I'll make sure on that day, certainly. So,
and then we finish the show off with a quick fire questions round, which is really random, asking questions like, where do you keep your tomato sauce? I cupboard or the fridge? Important questions like that, we need to know.
My case would be brown sauce, and it's above the cackle, right? I don't like tomato sauce.
Where do you keep your brown sauce?
Above the cackle in a little cupboard. Out of reach. Oh. Mine's out of reach, and Amanda can't get to it, right? Perks, is 6'1" and she's 5'1". She actually can't reach it. Oh. Don't tell us that. She'd kill me, right?
You'll have to let her not listen to this podcast.
No way, she's banned. Now, I know you've said seriously, you've got another project set up in lockdown as well, haven't you? What's that? Yes. Just so people know.
So that is my online writing workshop course called Express Yourself for Mental Health, teaching people how to use writing as a form of well-being. and keeping your mind right. I actually use writing rather therapeutically. It's good to get things off your chest and get them out onto the page, and I can organize my head like that. So during lockdown, after I'd been fired from my job, and I'd worked for Leeds Young Authors for 10 years, and I was also doing other writing workshops in the community for community groups, and even like schools and Her Majesty's Prison Service at the time over the years. So during lockdown, I thought, well, if I just put something together, I can do this, because obviously Zoom came out, isn't it? And we all started thinking about how we could use Zoom to our advantage. And so now I have a online writing workshop course through Zoom called Express Yourself for Mental Health. It's a 6 weeks course. We focus on creative writing, storytelling, rhyming, well-being, and then the last 2 classes are like topical work. So you can decide what it is that you want to write about, and then we kind of develop those things.
Brilliant.
The next spoken word program, Express Yourself for Mental Health program, is actually starting on Monday, this Monday coming, 25th of January. And you can look on my Facebook, my social medias. I've got D3 Creations Writing Workshops. You'll be able to find it on there, on Facebook. I also have a website at www.d3creations.uk. Check out that. It's got lots of things about me on there. And yeah, the writing workshops is just like a new venture. It's going well. It's actually, we had a free workshop last Monday to have people have like a bit of a taster for the course, and it was absolutely fantastic. We had people from Dominican Republic, Amsterdam, Texas, there was Texas, Colorado. It was amazing. So now it's an international online writing workshop program.
That's brilliant.
Thank you very much.
When you're getting that sort of, you're going that international like that. That's brilliant, because it's like you're getting all these different viewpoints from all over the world. I've done workshops of that sort of variety. It's absolutely superb. There was really Nigeria as well.
Sorry, I forgot my Nigerian friend.
Wow, so, that's absolutely superb. No, I can't believe. Good luck with it, definitely that, because 6 week blocks is good anyway as well. Because like I said, the time this podcast goes live, it'll be for your block in March, I reckon. So that's brilliant. Yeah. And I'm presuming obviously you'll find when you do these 6 week blocks, each sessions will be doing it a different way, won't they? You won't be doing them all exactly. It's impossible. And then you'll be amending all the time.
Thing, because obviously you have to get feedback from the people, but the groups have already been quite good. I've run the course now for the 6 week course. I started like the middle of last year, so we've done it about 3 times now. And then I threw some free courses in at the beginning of January, because everybody has a rubbish January, don't they? So I thought, let's
everyone hates January.
People up. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So we did a free one last week. But yeah, it was fantastic. And it just kind of goes to show the scope and that you can get from internet businesses.
Oh God, yeah, completely. If you do it right, living right, you can really do really well with that. So good luck with it, definitely, Dee. Now, you've actually answered the last question already about where can people find out more about you. You mentioned all your details a minute ago. So I
sometimes forget to do that, so I thought I'm getting it in now.
I like
social media, Instagram, D3 Creations, Facebook, D3 Creations. In fact, I've actually got 2 on each of the platform. I've got D3 Creations, which is my music platform, me as a spoken word artist. And then I have D3 Creations Writing Workshops, which tells you all the information about the writing workshops. And I believe Sarah is in the process of creating the loudspeaker Facebook and Instagram. So check out that.
Brilliant. We'll have to get you and Sarah both on to talk about your radio program later today, definitely. When you're a bit more down the line with it, certainly tell people how it's going and stuff like that. So I'll make a note of that, and I'll speak to you both in a couple of months' time. So
I'm also working with Sarah on the Express Yourself for Mental Health as well. So we're partners in both crimes.
How did you and Sarah meet them?
Well, the first time we met, I actually forgot about that. She remembers, but I was doing. So she told me, but I was doing a gig at the Drop, which is a night that's at the Primrose once a month. live entertainment night. That's at the Primrose in Leeds. And so I was doing a gig down there, and she saw me perform. And so that was the first time she saw me. And apparently we did chat that night, but if I've gone on to drink after that, I don't remember who I was talking to most of the time. I'm not going to lie. It's just what it is. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I'm the only one. I think that is the pandemic. So, we met again through Stand Up to Racism, because I am an activist. You know, we was all moved, I think, or affected by the events of last year.
Oh God, yeah, and, completely.
You know, so I was approached by Stand Up to Racism to see if would be interested in helping them put an event together, because I am an entertainment manager. I did go to university and get a degree, which I graduated in 2015, and so I said, yeah, I'll help, of course I will. And I ended up hosting. We created an event, Love Poetry, Hate Racism. So then me and Sarah worked on that together to put that together. It was an online event. Obviously, we was all still in lockdown, and it went really well. I hosted the show. People really loved it, and yeah. And then, like I said, a couple of weeks later, Sarah got in touch with me. She was like, "Do me and you do a radio show?"
See, so and that's how we go full circle, basically. So
now we're like that.
Yeah, like that. You can't see it, but she's put her fingers together.
Yeah, now we're like that. But yeah, fingers are twisted up and that.
If it's a video podcast, you can see how much Dee's twisted her fingers together. You must be double jointed, because I can't do that. Oh, that's showing off.
I'm putting it over my finger. You're making out like I've gone back around the other side. Oh, I can actually a little bit.
We've wandered off the point completely. It's been tremendous, this Dee. So what we'll do is we'll let you get composed, and you'll do a few pieces for us next. So hang around, everybody, because the Dee read over the Speakeasy the other week. Oh, she was brilliant. Particularly when she read out a poem that she went into jungle speed on. That was absolutely, I can't believe it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to try. I'm obviously a cappella, so I'm going to try be a little bit slower, but I do tend to, because I can still hear it in my head all the time, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And how, you know, because of how you've delivered it before, you know. So.
Yeah, what we'll do, we'll let you take a quick break and get composed, and that way we can pause, and we'll see you in a minute, guys. It's been great fun this today, Dee. You've gone off in every direction out there, spot I thought we were going to go, and more. And that's always pleasure. So, see you in a minute, guys.
Okay.
Spoken, mate. Hi, guys. Straight over to Dee. It's going to do a selection of pieces. Just go for it.
So this first piece I'm going to do for you is called Check Me Out. I know you didn't think I'd be here rocking the mic. Now you're trying to be near, bitch, take a hike. Can you hear me loud and clear? Am I lips shining bright? Get your ass up in the gear, I came to dazzle tonight. I'm hoping all my peers don't try to put up a fight. I wasn't joking, never feared that I'd be living this life. I feel I'm floating, it appears that I stepped into the light. I see you choking on your beer, hope you will be all right. This place where I am standing wasn't easy to get to. Broken relationships, 2 trimesters to get through. Loads of us have kids, but I had already got to. Though it worked out in the end, all my driver get through. You know more trying, lying, hiding things I want to say. Don't start denying, crying, hoping I'll just go away. If you think this part's about you, then it shows you're vain. You don't have no heart to doubt, through therein lies the shame. Check me out. Watch me now. I see you look me up and down. My eyes just roll up to the clouds, 'cause I don't care. I don't care. I said, check me out. Watch me now. I hope a fly lands in your open mouth, 'cause if you're not with me, you're without, and I don't care. I don't care. So I spoke to different people. They tried giving me advice. Sat calmly speaking, softly pretending to be polite. Listen to most of it. I just don't think I'll be so nice. You know why? I find my rhyme here in real life. And you know, families behind a lot of stress and strain. Also, like without them wouldn't be the same. Never the one to ride this move, always against the grain. Leaving me with things inside that I just can't contain. I remember times when life had seemed a fairy tale. Crystallized, I find all kinds of uncovered betrayals. I buy my lines, stand up for mine, and when it's all unveiled, I'll have put it all to rhyme, but with it all entailed. There was something that I saw in this book that I read, and it's been munching at the thoughts going round in my head. While assuming I had brought on all the things that were said, I heard you only live once, and then you were dead. So check me out. Watch me now. I see you look me up and down. My eyes just roll up to the clouds, 'cause I don't care. I don't care. Check me out. Watch me now, I hope a fly lands in your open mouth. Cause if you're not with me, you're without, and I don't care. I don't care. If I dissected you in 2 pieces somewhere in the dark, I would detect a little bit of G3 bound in your heart. For blown effects of integral control without leaving scars, I expect you to accept exceptional superstar. Please show me some respect and we can flow through some bars. Have intellectual conversations while walking in park instead of intentionally trying to tear me apart. Remember, I am there beside you wherever you are. This occasion, I am able to just let it slide. Mind will take it in though and make me wise. I never came here to make waves, that's by the by. I repay your shadiness by loving my life and motivated entertainment for all mankind. Since your game is putting pain up to disguise your lies, no game for makeup on your face. I see through to lies, leaving me capable of taking you down, both hands tied.
Fantastic. What got me there was there's no way I could remember all that block of information. You just like a machine gun the parts of that then. Fantastic. Did you do that one with the band? Did you that one? It felt like it. I can imagine the music with that one straight away.
Yes, I have. That's one of the ones I have done with the band. And it's crazy that you say about that because I actually have a really bad memory. I have actually suffered with MS for 21 years nearly now.
Yeah.
And my memory is really affected. And sometimes when I go on stage, I have to kind of write my first line. And all I need is the first line. The rest of it just comes out behind it.
Yeah, I think it's something that does naturally, doesn't it? Because I'm dyspraxic, so my attention span, I can't remember my pattern with jack shit sometimes. So if they've seen me on stage, it'd either be a big piece of paper or written all over the sleeves, something like this, like a invisible boxing. Oh, brilliant stuff.
Oh my God.
Anyway, okay. Well, on to number 2.
The next song or piece I am going to do is called I'm gonna do Contradictory Information. It's what was one of my isolation creations, what we were going through at the time, or maybe a pseudo possible future I was writing about. So it's called Contradictory Information. The news came through the door to say the future's black. So a war, new world order, we are under attack. There's panic in the streets, close borders, because we must keep track. It's leaving me sleeping like an insomniac. If you would only listen, you would hear the crack. The economy has fallen and it's broke its back. The 1% installing digital life hacks. Society is balling now, their freedom's jacked. First you have a cough, then find it harder to breathe. Spraying out more deadly bullets every time that you sneeze. Saying life had been more crazy than it's ever been yet. Who will be the next taken in this Russian roulette? But why the shock? This fate we have been told before. So now we knew they knew just what we had in store. Math, science, literature, as well as movies galore. So we can never be accused of not knowing the score. An old lady with an old small bag of sweets in her hand. She tried to pass it to a little girl. She didn't understand the implications of an acting full of taking a sweet. Gave her a death sentence she thought was a treat. Thanking the lady, the little girl ran to her mom, contaminating generations just by having fun, communicating face to face. Now a thing of the past, sharing the answers to the questions that nobody asked, because everybody states opinions like they're qualified. So the lies came thick and fast and some were truths in disguise. But united we are strong, so they created divide. A law is laid that we can no longer go outside, exposing all the cracks hidden in our personal lives, closing everything so we can see no life inside, feeding the paranoia that we won't all survive. Fear, power, control to keep your mind occupied. Call for assistance in need of more supplies. Inform that in this instance protection is denied. So doctors that stepped up to try to help us survive have now contracted the disease and loads of them died. Exercise sometimes is nice, but walking through the town, I see people being removed because their bread was brown. Her mother screaming, her legs weak, so she falls to the ground. Authorities just pat her head and tell her to calm down. The sound of engines roaring as trucks are driving away with all the new dead bodies that were taken today. No one to show respect and laid it in mass grave. I pray to God and all above that their souls were saved. So make way for a new totalitarian state. Soon after this pandemic depopulates, an introduction to the systemic automate when the abduction of all free will activates. With all this contradictory information, don't know what to believe. So creating one united nation will bring us to our knees.
Fantastic. Again, yeah, because that's completely different tone to the previous piece. And I love that sort of thing, good writing. Like it was, you caught me out with the singing bit at the end of it, and I wasn't expecting that then. And they very, very nearly came in.
But then I thought, I'm going to just do it. I thought, I'll just keep it to the lyrics.
It worked, but it just case was, I thought, oh, right,
it is called Contradictory.
It's clear, exactly. It's a perfect. I said, perfect way of doing it, being contradictory. So definitely. So, okay, we'll do 2 more, aren't we? So, do you want to give us the third one?
Okay, this one is called. I'm going to do Love is Blind now because I think I'm going to end with Nicole because it's a bit more fun. So this one I'm doing is called Love is Blind. Bang, an explosion that just can't be contained. The dice is rolled. Apparently, I'm playing the game. Concept is sit down and open your veins. Let people project to be positive. You're feeling the pain. So they open up my head and walk around my brain. Even though it was unclean, now it's covered in stains. Drop me naked, trembling in the pouring rain. Slap my face and tell me that I've got to play again. After wondering what all this was supposed to gain. This insane operation is inhumane. Only to be informed, this is just a common complaint. They smiled like they were sitting being entertained, saying now the procedure is preordained like little links connected on a messed up chain. Don't beat around the bush because the message is plain. You're no longer the master of your own domain. Like a hairline fracture growing over time, separating all the segments of my mind. Reduce me to an inch and give me mountains to climb. I try to break free, but it seems that I'm confined in a world of space and rhyme. I find my body filled with strength and weakness combined. I'm falling uncontrollably as my faith declines, but my feet keep moving because my love is blind. So I muster all the faith and logic I can find because I'm dealing with the world's most unrefined. I'm sure you know the kind, always on your spine, creeping up on unsuspecting souls from behind, moving in slow motion. Now the papers are signed, but I can't fast forward or press rewind, feeling my way in the dark, light no longer shines, but you can't walk away with something I consider mine. So I got myself an army cause I'm ready to fight. I'm calling anybody interested to help in my plight. I'm concentrating information to strengthen my bite. I fill my life with knowledge to set yours alight. Ignite every motherfucker till they're burning bright. Cause I, for one, am sick of trying to be polite. Deep breath, take aim and shoot on sight. I know there must be only one left standing tonight. Then the 4 corners of my universe can reunite. Light will return, welcomed by my heart's delight. I'll wrap it up in cotton wool and hold on tight, absorbing all the wrongs and trying to make them right. I'm aware I'm not the one who should be feeling contrite. So there's my dirty slate, you can give it a wipe. This colorful world is gray, not black and white, and I don't deserve this trait. Put that in your pipe.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. That, yeah, definitely sums up the love of definitely why Love is Blind in that piece. Tremendous.
Ooh.
Oh no, I bet you didn't puffed out after that, aren't you? Yeah.
I'm going to want to go out after this. Do you know that?
I know.
I haven't been gigging or anything, and now I'm just like, yeah, doing a little, gig in my front room, and now I'm going to want to go out.
That's the trouble, isn't it? You want to go out and get raving all over the streets after this, don't you? So. Yeah. Okay, right. Well, we'll let you conclude now, and you can do a big finale piece for us, aren't you?
Yes. Well, I'm going to do this one. It's called Nicole. It's a bit fun. Well, it's not fun. It's not fun if you're Nicole or the guy that Nicole was playing with. It's about sexually transmitted diseases.
Right. Warning. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Warning.
It's fine with me.
But it's educational too, so it's got a double edge. It's called Nicole. I knew a girl, she was called Nicole. She was bored one day, so she broke her home. She found some glitter that she thought was gold and started digging like a dog digs for a bone. When she found out player didn't live alone, she should have got feelings under control. She turned up the heat because she was cold. I bet you can guess how the story unfolds. With effort in her fists, a bowl and mixer, she cooked up dramas with her careless whispers. Don't forget, this bitch is one fucked up sister. She made her little storms turn into twisters. She did everything she could to attract this mister. Eventually, he couldn't resist her, like playing with the skin when you have a blister that's filling up with fluid and begins to itch her. Happy home is under attack. She made it known she was available available on tap. He snapped, she laid back, opened up her crack and said, if anybody else, I'll hold my trap. He was slapdash and forgot to strap, even though he already knew the girl was slack. By the time she was pulling on her knickknacks, he already started feeling a strong urge to scratch. His heart sank when he began to see a rash. He was breaking out in and was breaking fast. His life flashed before his eyes, thinking of his next task. How was he ever gonna explain this to our last? Already regretting that it had a bash of that banged out nasty bitch's gash. But there wasn't any stories able to mask what happened on that day in that flat. When he got back, he started to flap. Now his baby mother asked where he was at. Because he felt so guilty, he just turned and snapped, leave me alone. I'm going upstairs for a bath. He scratched his head and turned on the taps. He wondered how he managed to fall in this trap. Wished he could fly around the world and make time retract. He didn't want his girl to know he was a rat. She didn't let information pass by. In fact, his baby's more like a Russian spy. She was sitting downstairs wondering why her man was being fresh and acting sly, knowing only one reason why this guy would come home, get washed after barking high. She exhaled slow and waited for the lies, imagining the explanations that he would try. But there was no way he could disguise the fact he parked his car in someone's drive. Her man wasn't even deprived. His girl, the only one who made him feel alive. He hoped that one day she would be his bride, a subject they had both implied. He came out the bathroom and he got dried, and he looked down at his manly pride, and it was red raw and twice the size. It was so sore that he nearly cried. She came in the room, her mouth open wide. He reached for the towel and tried to hide. He was so sure this would cause divide if he didn't duck to avoid collide between the big glass ashtray in between his eyes. I shit you not, he would have died. Motherfucking low down dirty dog, he heard a shout. She started ripping into him and burst his mouth. He tried reasoning with her, asking to kick him out. Looking like a little lost, pathetic mouse, she grabbed hold of the towel and threw it south, taking away any slim chance of doubt. She wasn't interested what he wanted to talk about. She just wanted him to get the fuck out the house. Baby, I love you. You should have thought of that before. Put your clothes on, clean out your wardrobe and drawers and all the other bits of shit that you have stored. Put them on the other side of my front door. Take them all round to your dirty whore. She said she didn't want to see his sorry ass no more. His actions hurt her down to her core, so she hit him one more time across the jaw. He had to let it ride. He was to blame. He didn't know why he caused so much pain. There wasn't any pleasure, so what did he gain? If he was a player, then he lost the game. His burning candle had an extinguished flame, and he knew that things would never be the same. Now she's laughing like she's watching a comedian, proclaiming she hoped he had reached his aim, adding that he will never be with her again. And don't think you're getting back this engagement ring. She's still smiling, looking down at her diamond bling, but inside she feels like dying. He got dressed and gathered up his things, feeling ashamed, and now his face has started to sting. The moral of the story, if you go cheating, but if you do, at least protect your ding-a-ling.
Tremendous, tremendous. That's a great way of finishing off that one, Dee. Certainly. I would hate to actually do a piece to go beyond that. Fantastic. Really, really enjoyed that. I mean, it's been a great session all around, but thank you for that today. Been really, really
Well, thank you for inviting me. I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah, you can tell.
You've hyped me up now. I'm being bored in my house. I'm hyped.
See, but both doing an online rave now. Definitely, I'm dancing as well.
Yeah, I'm going to put my own Zoom on now and start organising a Zoom party.
Zoom rave.
Get some supplies.
Definitely get yourself stocked up. I know we went to just to hide this. Amanda's younger sister. Just after lockdown started last year, we went to a Zoom online birthday party. It was very surreal. So definitely, I think a rave would be a definite way, better way of finishing it off tonight. Definitely be so.
Yeah.
So, but hang around, Dee. Obviously, I need to speak to you off mic anyway. But thank you for today. It's been tremendous. Been everything I wanted and want more. So that's been brilliant. So we'll conclude there, guys. But as Don Callis says in Impact Wrestling, stay safe and stay over, and we'll see you all soon. Spoken, mate.